really thought I was going to convince you to just turn over the Nerdist Twitter handle by looking up to the sky when I said brand. I really thought you were...
Brand. You had a hand gesture.
It just went up in the air.
Yeah, no, I signed on. My first Twitter account was at Hardwick, like in, I don't know, 2007 or 8.
Yeah,
and
then you were like, I better get my SEO together.
I just never, I just didn't use it. But when I started the Nerdist website, I was like, well, I should probably just have the Nerdist Twitter handle. Like, it just made sense to me to do that.
He's
so
brilliant, everybody.
That's what I did.
That's why we're here today with Kyle Kinane.
It's all boiled down to this moment with Kyle Kinane.
Yeah.
We got so big, we were able to get our friend to come back.
To be fair, Kyle has become quite the famous comedian, Jonah.
You know who's probably just waking up around time for the podcast?
Yeah.
Kyle, we can get him in here.
You know what he did last night?
A recorded voiceover for Comedy Central?
Nope.
No, I did that this morning. Between barf belches, I taped Drunk History last night.
You did!
So I am here in spite of a bottle of tequila.
Okay.
But it was
Not
just a
in me
bottle of
anymore.
No, God.
What was your historical
I did
situation?
the Haymarket riot in Chicago.
Oh, great.
Nicely done.
Is it, did you reference the band at any point?
No, I didn't. I had to look it up too. I was a terrible historian.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're doing Chicago? I can do all kinds of Chicago. I don't know anything about Chicago.
I would imagine most people probably know who you are who listen to the podcast, but you're, for the longest time, I think you kind of, and I don't know if you would admit this, but you sort of have that Louis C.K. thing where whenever you're on stage, like the other comedians come back in the room to watch you. I don't know if you know that or would admit that, but
nice.
my experience is that is the case with you,
Yeah,
where it's like,
not
oh, you gotta
happening
fucking.
anymore.
You don't think so?
I don't know.
He just doesn't get as drunk anymore. It's not fun.
yeah, I wasn't the material.
We have to watch Brendan Walsh now for that.
No, it was yeah, that's nice to know. I have that fear that I'm getting like road flattened. I'm on the road so much, and then I write material out there, and I come back to LA and try it, and I'm like, oh, this is not good.
I had that exact same experience at Kurt and Kristen's hot tub show.
Oh yeah.
I've been in road mode for so long.
Road mode.
Well, this road mode, you're doing an hour. You have time to fuck around. You have time to breathe.
Yeah.
And then when someone's like, "Come back here and do 10 minutes for hipsters," and you're like, "This feels weird." Like it totally threw me off.
And
like
being jovial, like you start a set and you're jovial on the road, like, all right, let's get into it.
Yeah.
And nobody cares.
no, they don't.
Like,
It was a fun show, but it sort of felt like, oh yeah, this is a different speed than what I'm used to.
Yeah. I just like 10 minutes. I'm like, I'll screw around. People like me. Oh, I'm doing terribly right now.
I get that just because like every week being at the Meltdown show, like, you know, like, and when we go out on the road, we'll do like Nerdist shows and like people know us and like people know me at that show. I'd be like, I'm just a personable, funny guy. I could just make anything funny.
Yeah.
And then I'll do another show in town and I'd be like, I'm just going to talk about the time I was here playing in a band and I threw up on the drum set. And then just everyone's just like, no.
Yeah,
No.
you get labeled. I've been labeled storyteller, and it's like, well, no, it's just bullshitter.
Yeah.
It's just bar bullshittery is all it is like sitting around. But like, oh, so I'm a storyteller now. I'm gonna just tell a story.
Yeah.
I can spin a comedy yarn.
Yeah.
This is like turns out it was just me going to get lunch.
But that's what I
there's
love
nothing
about
humorous about
Sean
it.
Penn has that great thing where he has like he tells this great story about losing his virginity like really young. But then at the end of it, like he's like, and I guess since this is a fucking story, I have to tell you about the moment where I learned something, and like he just like makes fun of all like storytellers that like guys that don't want to do stand up, so they'll just go to storytelling shows.
Oh yeah.
But you started you're a Chicago comedy guy.
Yeah.
What was when did you start and what was the scene like?
It was 99. It was with all the guys, Pete Holmes and Kumail and Bron.
You know everyone
Bronco.
that's doing really well in comedy right now? Chicago '99.
some reason.
Chicago's the new Boston.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the generation of comics before, it
So
was
many
like it was
people.
Boston.
So many people
Like
that are just
the
killing it.
Bill Burrs and the
Yeah.
wasn't Bill Burrs and the Geraldos and the
Well, I guess I missed my Boston time.
By a long shot, man.
because you're doing a fucking Dave Matthews concert. You should have been doing
That's what we were
stand-up.
doing in Boston.
That's what I think.
also-
Street brawling at a Dave Matthews concert.
Yeah. It was the slowest, softest punches I've ever seen in my entire life.
But you really felt it, like
Felt
in
it
your heart.
In your heart, yeah.
And then that lackadaisical attitude spilled out into the street.
I got hit.
Comedy.
I got punched with a potpourri sash made out of hemp. It
Oh, man.
wasn't even
The
a.
cops had to come and break it up. Instead of shooting beanbags, they were shooting hacky sacks.
We just played, man. We just played.
Yeah.
The
It was
people are
crazy,
catching-
man. I lost a flip flop. You don't even know, man. It was wild.
So where did you guys start? Was it basically just like sort of an alternative comedy scene, or like were there?
Yeah, it was a bunch of guys that never wanted to go. Not never want to go on the road, but I mean, you know how it was back then doing.
No, I
comedy.
know
This is
everybody you
99.
mentioned. It was a bunch of guys who never wanted to go on the road.
Well, yeah, because the road was
At that
if you
time,
think in '99, it was just doing one-nighters for drunks.
Yeah.
which is still a lot of what the road is now.
comedy was in a bad state in '99 in terms of like touring. Comedy was in a real bad
Yeah.
state because there was no comedy on television anymore. People weren't
There
really
was no
going to
YouTube,
clubs.
There was none of that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
so it was just sort of, there were basically, I think, a generation of kind of recycled comics just doing all the same clubs and
Yeah.
at that time.
The few road gigs I had, I remember one was at like a snowmobile bar in Wisconsin.
That's a real
Sounds
thing?
awesome. Yeah, you take
yeah.
snowmobiles to it.
Snowmobile up. And it was weird because the directions there, and like it is one of those. I don't want to Andy Rooney shit up here, but it's like, oh yeah, I just had to like listen to a guy and write down directions and just snow-covered darkness in the
Yeah.
backwoods of Wisconsin to go make $50.
And then if you got lost, there's no way to call that guy back.
And then one of the directors like, all right, you're gonna pull in, you're gonna see a Green Bay Packers bar. Our bar is behind that bar. There's two bars on the same property, not next to each other, but one behind the other.
How was the show?
Minnesota
It was
Vikings
terrible.
bar.
Yeah.
It was ter-
So from there, you're,
But that was the road. So everybody's like,
the
I'm gonna
UP,
do comedy.
the Upper Peninsula.
Yeah, I was in that. Yeah, then the guy, the headliner, he's like, these people can say whatever they want. I got a 45 under the seat of my car. I'm like, oh, and found out later that guy had gone to jail for something or another. I was like, oh, how's so and so doing? It was kind of like, oh yeah, he's in prison.
He killed someone at a bar, and
Yeah, probably rightfully so. I mean, one less racist heckler. That's a better world. But so nobody left. Like we're just like we're gonna do comedy because we like doing comedy. There's no like, I don't want to go do that and ruin this thing I enjoy. I don't have to drive around playing for jerks and babysitting more or less. So everybody just stayed in town, just like really enjoyed just doing the open mics and going, oh, you got new stuff, oh, who's got new stuff? Have you heard? And we were just geeked out about it.
What was the place called? It was
Lion's Den. There's a
Lion's
great
Den.
Steve Heisler wrote a real good article.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
a great
Heisler
article.
wrote, about the open mic that kind of
Heisler's a great writer. He's fucking.
Yeah.
He writes such great comedy reviews from the standpoint of someone who is I encourage people to look up Steve Heisler online, but he writes comedy reviews from the point of view, especially in a world where reviewers tend to like to, rather than review something, try to show you how smart they are. Like they try to overwrite.
Yeah.
So instead of really getting a sense of whether someone's good or not, they want you to be like, this guy's fucking hilarious. Here's the real comic, is this reviewer. But Heisler actually writes really good, well thought out.
He's a fan, yeah.
He's a comedy fan, and even when he's kind of shutting something down, you don't feel like it's in a way where he's trying to show you his writing chops. Like he just does it in a nice way.
Like comedy reviews are all kind of kid gloves. Like they're all like nobody really will take a swing at.
You don't think so?
AV Club gets pretty.
AV
The
a
AV
little
Club
bit more.
commenters get.
No, but
Oh,
like I've read,
AV Club commenters can go eat an asshole.
yeah.
You're among friends,
And
Kyle.
I haven't even, and it, like I really haven't heard much, but like the self-importance
Yeah.
of internet comment.
But the thing is, this right now-
faceless courage.
This right now, like, because it's like they talked about us again. You know, we're
We
getting
did
it. We're doing it,
Yeah,
guys.
you are doing it.
I always hate kind of having the sort of it's like it sort of forces you to have the point of view of the uncool teacher in the class, where it's like, sure, you can sit in the back of the room and pass notes and snicker and make horrible comments.
Yeah.
What are you doing with your life?
Well, and then realizing that the only people reading those comments are me, and then
Guilty.
anybody that's responded to the comments. Nobody's been like, what's popular opinion, and then read all the comments. I mean, I think that isn't it just other commenters that are fighting each other?
Yeah,
throughout
it's the
whole thing?
commenters who read it and whoever's being written about who reads it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
it's
it.
not like
Yeah.
I don't think like there's not an audience, but I guess it's just the psychology of seeing your stuff
I
up
see.
there on the screen.
Although
like,
when I make
admit
when
my voice
I do,
is heard.
I think Jonah does this too. Forgive me if I'm incorrect, but when I
forgive you.
feel bad about myself, I go find a review of something I love.
Yeah, I do that.
Jonah,
yeah.
we
Yeah.
almost talked about on the podcast a couple weeks ago, but something. Oh, it was when.
If you're gonna point at me, use a money clip.
It's when. Here's my Starbucks card.
No, he's just tossing it around.
It was when.
There's more where that
We were just
came
about to
from.
touch on that, and it was when Jimmy Pardo came in for that one Hostful podcast we were
Yeah.
doing. We never talked about it, but the idea that you'll go to like someone reviewing Louis C.K. or someone else and look at the comments, and people are like, "This guy sucks," and you're
Yeah.
like, "Okay,
Yeah.
good." So
Yeah.
there are those
Yeah.
people for
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah, that's how I like. That's what I did after my my record came out. I read this this guy reviewed my record, and the guy I looked up what he looked like. He looks like me. He just looks like me, and everything was like this guy surrounded himself with funny people. I was like, yes, what you want, isn't it? And we even have a same name in this somewhere in there too. And I was like, I'm really upset about it, and I was like, you know what? And I thought about some of my favorite records. One of my favorite records of all time, Pinkerton by Weezer. But it's like if you read reviews of when that came out, it was fucking it was shit on by everybody. Or it's so what I would do, I was go to YouTube and then look up a Louis C.K. video or a Mitch Hedberg or or other people that I even just like a lot. And then you just see people shitting on them. You're
yeah.
like, you know what? Fuck everybody.
happens. Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
cares?
It's easier if you just go to iTunes, look up your favorite comedy album, and then sort by least to best.
Oh, yeah,
that's
most critical.
Yeah,
Most
most
critical.
critical.
Oh, that's so easy.
Yeah,
That's going to
it's the
save a lot of
easiest thing in the
time.
world.
Yeah, well, and it's funny because people say, I pretty much stopped reading comments because it just was there's no.
I can't get to that point. I need you to tell me how to get
Well,
to that point.
here's the thing.
Here's what we say.
And Beyonce. I am Beyonce.
Doesn't apply anymore, as far as I'm concerned, because of their publicist.
Here's the thing is that when people say to comedians well, just ignore it, they're just trolls. And what I think people need to understand is that comedians of almost anyone else are hypersensitive because that is what we do.
Yeah.
We are sponges that try to re-express things into the world on stage, and you have to be hypersensitive.
Yeah.
And there's obviously a certain amount of insecurity. There's a lot of insecurity, and there's a lot of negative stuff, but just by virtue of the fact of what we do, we are just naturally sensitive to the world.
Yeah, it's here's a funny thing.
God damn it. And it just, it's funny as I said that, some shitty comment just popped into my head that someone says was I wish Hardwick would stop trying to remind us that he's a real comic. I'm just talking about my life.
I got something for you, Sponge Hardwick.
But it was funny. Matt and I,
Sponge.
Matt took a picture of me and him, when we were hanging out, and then some guy on his Instagram said, you got to get away from Jonah Ray. He's the worst. And then the worst. And then I was like,
Not even worse.
I was like, if I'm the worst, I commented back to the guy, if I'm the worst, why is he friends with me and not you?
Was that the one where...
then he replied,
The guy replies
No, you
with proximity. And I was like, and then I had Matt block him.
What was the one? What was the one on Instagram where someone said something to you and you went on her profile and it was just pictures of her kid and you just said, "Fuck you and your shitty kid."
I almost did it again with this guy. I was like, who the fuck is this motherfucker? Who's this motherfucker? Oh, he's got a picture of the kid. I'm just gonna say his kid smells dumb.
Fuck you and your shitty kid.
Why I never?
Yeah, but the guy was like, I was like, he's like, hey, he started commenting on my
yeah,
feed,
because I had
going
blocked him,
hey,
so he went and commented on Jonah's feed.
Did Matt block me on Instagram because of what I said to you? I was like, you just said one of his really good friends is the worst.
And his really good friend convinced him to block him.
Well, to be honest, Matt said, you want me to block him? And I said, well, I'm not going to say either way, but yes.
But if you
I
would,
But if you want to
block
remain
anybody.
friends...
you won't block
I
anybody?
won't block anybody.
Oh, it's so gratifying, Kyle.
No, I don't think it. I think it's gratifying to them when they see they've been
think
blocked.
so?
Oh,
I'm
you have to wait it out.
open
You have to
channel.
wait it out.
And I
wait it out.
have another theory on this too. Is that is it bad for us in our culture to basically spoil ourselves and only surround ourselves with people who are saying good things about us? Is that
it's horrible.
potentially detrimental to what we do because it's sort of a false reading?
But where's the bad message coming from? Somebody's saying you suck with the anonymity of the internet.
Yeah.
I don't buy. If I go on stage and a joke doesn't get a laugh, I know it's a shitty joke.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll take that. Yeah, I'm not. Somebody was talking I want to try open mics. I'd probably have all my friends there, though. I'm like, no, I never wanted my friends there.
no one
Out of
ever did.
embarrassment, and then I wanted a gauge of, do strangers laugh at this?
Yeah.
So that has something. That also has something to do with going on the road and doing gigs that you get a reputation. Now people just come because they know you, but that can be the beginning of the end because people just they just accept anything you say.
Well, they do to a point. I think.
to a point,
I
yeah.
think the jokes still have to they not only. I mean, the other side of that is that they come with high expectations.
Yeah,
so
that's
it's not. Yes, there is a certain amount of forgiveness because. I think it just takes because that's happening with that. That's happening. The same thing's happening for me. Is that people are coming on purpose, which is a relatively new thing.
Yeah, it's like, oh no, I was supposed to surprise you by like, this scumbag's kind of funny. Like, I was supposed to surprise
remember those
you
first
over.
remember those first seven the first 7 minutes when you got to let the crowd know it's okay to like you.
Yeah.
And then you could do your set. Now they come in and they know stuff. And sure, the downside to that is like, well, I'm just performing for my friends, but. They also do expect you, like, they can be more disappointed in you than just a regular papered crowd of people that got free tickets to the show.
True. Yeah, that's true because they were hoping for it. I mean, my thing. I want to go back to the internet comment, like, and all that stuff though. Like, no, like my, I could relax by like knowing, like, if I'm out at a bar or party, like, oh, that guy, look at that entertaining guy in the corner and everybody likes him. That guy's never going to say, oh, yeah, I comment on YouTube videos all day. That's what I do. Like, that makes me like, oh, because if you go and, like, somebody say, like, Twitter, it's like, I read the stuff. And so somebody would just be like, go fuck yourself, whatever. And then you go to their account, it's like, how do you have 50,000 tweets and 100 followers?
Yeah.
Like, that means you're a I just picture a hoarder. I just picture a hoarder when I see that.
And what about those 100
Just
people?
at a computer
What about those 100 people that are dealing with all these tweets?
To be fair, a lot of them are probably spam bots.
Yeah, it's not, yeah.
Is that like a robot that makes spam for you anytime you want it?
That's why,
spam
that's
eggs and spam
why
bot.
twice a week I tweet about iPhones and jobs. I get the spam bots in.
Get those numbers up. Fluff those numbers.
I just say porno, and then it's like tons.
Chat. Say chat, too. That'll bring them in.
I don't know, for some reason, I just got this image in my head of the new Marco Polo game is porno for pyros. I don't know why.
Wow.
I don't know. My
Really
brain
out
just went in a
there.
weird direction.
I liked it.
Yeah, I don't know what.
That was only
There's a
played,
band
that was
I
only
could
played
have,
for a few years in the 90s. That's a game that quickly went in.
James.
That's a band I was fine forgetting about until now.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. Mike Watt. Mike Watt was in that band.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Nobody's telling Perry Farrell to stop.
No. Keeps going.
Nobody's telling him, hey,
Look at that guy's vest.
take a break.
That's a Perry Farrell vest. This is the third time in a week that Joel McHale has watched. But come on!
Too slow.
I got you!
Vest guy has been unaffected by this
Still
whole
killing
thing.
it.
Whole time, the guy.
That guy's got a game. Take a picture of Vest Guy. We'll blur his face.
I don't want to take a picture of
That
that.
guy's getting 3 more months of
He's
practice.
being
before he tells
blocked
people
by
he plays
knit hat
didgeridoo.
crochet knit hat.
I just the other day, like, I saw this like fucking idiot, this girl like just dressed like a fucking moron walking down the street. And normally, I would like pull out my phone and take a picture of it and just like tweet like it's like don't dress like this. And then I stopped.
Wait a minute.
And I stopped myself and I was like, this is what being an adult is all about.
Wait a
And then he
minute.
Or
tweeted
just not being a
Wait a
jerk.
minute.
What?
Wait a minute.
What?
You just went on a tiny rant about people trolling on the internet, and then you're going to troll someone in life with their picture?
I'm not gonna put their face in it.
Oh, you blur their
I'm just gonna
face.
show how much.
Yeah,
they're
we
fucking
all did
stupid.
collectively just
Oh.
laugh at this dude
Yeah.
with the vest. Like,
I mean-
fuck you, vest guy.
Yeah,
What
but
do
when
you
it's not
think?
the context
What do you
of
think's in his
internet.
Netflix envelope? Quick.
Yeah.
What would be in that guy's? I look at that guy and I think of the guy that John Cusack's character in High Fidelity describes, the guy that's
Right.
fucking his
Oh, yeah,
ex-girlfriend.
yeah.
Like, you know, he liked whatever world music was
was
popular
probably
that
that
week. You know, this
The
guy.
smells.
Patchouli stink out of my store.
It's
But
a
I think
conservative outfit. Otherwise, it's just the.
I bet he's
vest.
like
Ooh.
the. I bet he's the guy who thinks he's way on, like he's ahead of the curve, but in that envelope is Jiro Jeans with sushi.
I'll tell you that guy. I'll tell you that's
new thing.
That's the guy. That's the guy when you go to any restaurant, even a non-Asian restaurant, and they give him silverware. He was like, "I brought my own chopsticks." Like that's the guy.
I want to go.
No matter what restaurant.
No matter what
Give me a
restaurant.
great steak. It's okay. I brought my own
They're
chopsticks.
just more efficient, you guys.
It's bamboo, so
Yeah.
I think he probably put that vest on and off at least 3 times today. I don't think
Yeah.
he was sure about it.
You think so?
I don't
How many
think he
times
was
do you
sure
think?
about
How
it.
many times do you think he buttoned it and then unbuttoned it and then buttoned it?
So
and
I
then
think-
unbuttoned
Describe it had like an almost southwest.
It
feel
was
to
it was a southwestern vest, but like not like a cool take on southwestern vest. Like the kind of I used to my ex-girlfriend's from Tucson, so we spent a lot of time in Tucson every year. We'd go there for New Year's. And it's like one of those truck stops that you stop at on the way to Phoenix or Tucson. And then it's just like they have crazy shirts and then some, like
it's always the
and some vests
and that weird thing playing the flute. What do they call that? That's in
Pan flute
thing.
But it's the figure of the guy like.
yeah, with the crazy hair.
It's everywhere.
I don't know.
That guy's dressed like the guy who does the books at the Alamo. Like the guy that it's like he's just in charge of keeping the business side together.
Let's not skip
Wait, you mean
on
the
the
Alamo
fact.
Draft House or the literal Alamo?
No, the Alamo. The actual Alamo.
What kind of books do they have?
We cannot ignore the fact that he was wearing this unironic Southwestern vest over a denim shirt.
It was I think he's a roadie for Mumford and Sons. They still dress smartly.
Yes. I was
He
so
was
glad when I
in the
saw
band when it was Mumford and Cousins, but when they shut
They
it
said
down.
like you're the loose fucking yeah. I saw when I first saw Mumford and Sons, I was so excited to see that the singer was just this guy that looked like he was made out of Guinness. He just fucking it's got a layer over
I would
him.
love to be made out of
I
Guinness.
haven't seen them or really heard them. I'm like an old man when it comes to anything pop culture. I don't know what's going on.
You don't listen. You listen to The Rock, K-Rock.
No.
You haven't seen Jiro Jeans' Sushi?
I haven't seen it. When you said that, I'm like, yeah, that guy probably thinks he's...
Well,
But we were just the internet just now, all of us.
Mumford and Sons is are they Scottish or Irish or British or? I mean, they're British. If they're
Irish.
I
Scottish.
don't need any more folk music.
But they're basically they're a British Isles band that gives you the sense that they're mad about things that happened in another time.
That's okay. I put
it
that.
was not your fault, but mine.
I put some on Twitter like that, like American folk music. Like, you can be a folk musician and talk about the time you worked at Sam Goody in '97. Like, that's still. I mean, if you want to get to the blue collar roots of folk music, your job was, was done away with by technology. Not quite, out in the fields with a scythe and then a threshing table.
That's the
but
thing.
it's the same thing.
But
There's no CDs.
There was a whole crop. There was a crop of bands of the and I put Mumford and Sons in there with Decemberists and Midlake. It's all these. There was this kind of this frontier rock where it's like
Band of Horses.
We're describing. I wouldn't put Band of Horses in frontier
Really
rock.
wouldn't put it along with the Decemberists and Midlake, a band that sounds like a combination of those two bands?
No, because thematically, Band of Horses are singing about contemporary things.
Weed is what they're singing about.
Well, but fine. So they're singing about weed, but you take Decemberists, you take Midlake, you take Mumford and Sons, and there's this kind of anachronistic quality to the theme of what they're singing about. Is like this is from an era gone by. That they're singing about themes from an old era. Is what I think.
I haven't listened to the lyrics of Mumford and Sons. I had no idea they were singing about old things.
Just what it feels like to me.
No,
That may not.
it's just all about love.
It's like old
Love's the oldest thing of all.
Well,
Jonah.
yeah, but so is like flogging Molly and shit like that.
Yeah.
Believe me, everyone on the internet's going to tell me I'm 50 different ways of wrong, and that's fine.
But
But I'm allowed to. I'm entitled to my opinion, and that is how I perceive
But
them.
what's new music? What's a new sound? You know what it is? It's dubstep, and it's fucking terrible.
Well, Kyle, I don't know if you've heard dubstep and Korn's new song. There's a Skrillex and Korn song. that
Oh,
John
turns
and I
out
listened to.
some guy told me online it's an entire album they did together.
Oh, well, there
it's
you
not
go.
just the one song.
It's like two trucks full of suck crashing.
Yeah,
The worst of all
acting like they even
worlds.
started in the first place.
Let's do our dubstep Mumford and Sons. We'll do Dubford and Sons.
Oh,
Dubford
that's-
and Sons.
is that-
But it was not your.
That's the heavy metal. Why is that dubstep?
Well, because I can't make electronic dubby noises.
Can't Michael Winslow it up? Michael Winslow should be seeing a resurgence with all this dubstep.
No shit.
Oh my god!
One man dubstep.
If they were to remake Police Academy now, his
He's the
character
captain.
would
He's the
do
captain.
the
He's the
dubstep.
captain.
he's the
Yeah.
captain, Reggie Watts.
Is the new, yeah. We did a show.
Citizen on
We did a show
Patrol.
in Dallas. Was it in Dallas or Houston? It was Dallas, where like
Oh,
the
yeah.
other side of the club, like the other side of the venue, there was like a dubstep concert going on.
Well,
I don't know what you call
there
it.
were two. There are basically several rooms within. There were several different performance halls within this one venue, and it was all like teenagers, like fucking sweaty teenagers and
Sweaty, barely clothed teenagers.
Oh God. It was so hot, and then it turns out the way to dance to dubstep is to just do all that pre-breakdancing moves, all those moves where you're just kind of like getting ready to break dance.
Where you're about to go, you're about to go in the circle, but you don't quite.
Yeah,
You're
you're
just
just the
dancing
guy
around the
that's
circle.
all dubstep dancing is.
I mean, and not to sound totally old about it, like it. I've seen videos where it can accompany a really great video. It does work in certain contexts.
It's good for montages of fights.
It works. I'm like, I don't want to like.
You feel like it needs a visual component rather than just an audio component.
I feel it's a type of music that came up because of visual components.
I think
somebody had a video in mind and then made a soundtrack for it.
and then it just became its own thing. I like the idea. I like what you say about the pre-breakdance moves. That it looks like. It looks like someone is about to jump into an imaginary well and they're trying to psych themselves up to do it, but they never actually do it.
Here we go.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to jump this time.
Come on,
I can't
Jerry,
do it, man.
you're not going to do it.
I'm going to do it, man. I'm going to do it.
Oh, jeez.
I'm going to dubbity do it.
I had no hot water in
what
my
kids say.
hotel in Atlanta, and I likened taking a freezing cold shower to like, I guess it sounds like that, but I likened it to like a reluctant white guy about to get into a double Dutch game. So I was just at one end of the shower, like, this is gonna suck. This sucks. Oh, I hate this so much. And I just jump in there and like, it's the worst, and don't jump back out for a few seconds.
When did you? How long? First of all, when did you move to Los Angeles?
2003.
And when did you start to?
10 years, baby.
When did you start to feel like, oh, this stuff that I'm saying on stage really who I am, as opposed to I'm just writing jokes?
Oh, I know exactly what it was. It was right after I bombed in Aspen.
Aspen was tough. Aspen were tough crowds.
It was like just rich people.
Yeah.
And then you get there on the merits of like my set was just complaining about a job and being poor and a piece of shit. And then it's just rich white people looking at you going, what? How could you? What? How could things be bad for you?
Why is he complaining about making $250,000 a year?
Yeah. But after that, I bombed at that, and I came back. I'm like, well, that was my shot, and I blew it. All right, now I can just do whatever on stage. Like that's when the beard came.
And that's when you gave
2007.
yourself the out. I remember. Did you have like at 30?
At 30, at 30, I was gonna quit. I was gonna move back to Chicago at 30.
Not quit, but move back to Chicago.
Move back and see what
Yeah,
happens.
young people always say dumb shit like that. When I'm 30, I'm just going to fucking give it up. And you get to 30 and you're like, I'm still vibrant.
I don't have much else going on otherwise. It's not like a bunch of other opportunities were popping up. But no, it was 30. I turned 30 in December and then was like, all right, this is the age I said I was going to do something. Found out about Aspen, went to Aspen, bombed at Aspen, but came back with like this renewed, like, oh, it doesn't matter. I'm just talking about whatever. There's nothing on the horizon. I'm just going to talk about whatever I want to talk about. And that's where it started.
And then you got Carson Daly.
Carson Daly came that year, which was actually, it was such a nice way to enter things.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, people like, go all over the guy, but he was all right. I mean, he's still like his show, like he's still bands you never see on MTV or won't even hear about. He does put a lot of like unknown acts on there.
The guys that like make that show and him, like they're all very good at like exposing stuff. Like they did a piece on the Meltdown, Kumail on the Meltdown show, and like it was just like, it's like they shot it well. It's like it's a nicely done piece, and like I started watching other stuff.
He's a
from
good
the show.
guy.
No, it's good. They
Carson's a
cover
good
good
guy.
stuff on there, but I love the out on that episode after they come out of the Meltdown package. He's like, what is he playing?
He's playing pool.
Yeah, and he just goes
shuffleboard.
up,
Shuffleboard or pool.
shuffleboard,
Yeah,
and he just looks up and he goes, Who knew that was going on there?
Yeah, like it could have been anything.
Yeah. Well, that was a day of probably a day of generic raps.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
generic rap rounds. Like, you're just going to give you an activity and then you just look up
Yeah,
and be like,
exactly. The rest will be VO.
yeah.
Yeah.
We don't really know where we're going to put this yet, so just keep it open.
Yeah.
Hey, Carson, my TV show.
I didn't see you come in.
You know, it's like there's going to be a point
I was
where
just
it's like
playing
they're going to
solo
have a
shuffleboard.
10-year anniversary.
Just me chilling, playing shuffleboard with a lighting crew around.
Oh, I didn't see you there.
By the way, playing shuffleboard alone is like stumbling onto someone playing tennis alone. Like it's a weird. You just can't.
Physically grueling.
The most physically demanding thing there
That's
is.
amazing.
This guy's really good.
Go back and forth. His heart's gonna blow up.
But then, like, you also did like Channel 101 stuff, like around that time.
Yeah,
too.
people had me in Channel 1. When I first got out here, Ryan Ridley was he moved out about the same time, and he was stand up in Chicago, but does TV writing now. But he was he moved out with like just Channel 101. That was his focus. Like that's what he was going to do. I was like, I didn't even know what it was. So because of him, they had me. Him and Danny Jelinek.
Yep.
So there's always something going on.
When did the Face Fucking Rabbits animated piece surface?
Oh, that was on the first album. That was on.
But
Back to the Party.
did someone just make that for you, or
Well,
did you?
those 6 Point guys made that,
6
right?
Point, yeah.
6 Point Hard.
Oh, 6 Point made those.
Yeah, but that was like they allow
Brendan
the people
Birch.
there to like any of the guys or the animators there to like make their own projects and utilize like the people there, and that was kind of one of those little projects, right?
Yeah, it was actually management he's like, it'd be a really good idea for the album is to put out an animated thing. We know these guys at 6 Point Harness. I was like, okay, it's not like a good idea. And he just sent me one still of what it was going to be. I'm like, you know what you're doing. Like, I don't want to put any influence in. This is what you do. I don't want to mess with it.
Do you feel like you are that you have a mind for any of the businessy stuff, or you're just like, I just want to do comedy and just give me a mic and tell me where to go, or do you really secretly like?
My thing is like looking like I don't look at what people did to become successful. I look at what people did to fuck it all up and try to avoid that. I think it's easier to avoid giant mistakes if I know people have made them because I don't know what. This is it. I told jokes and I got this far. Keep telling jokes and keep writing jokes. That's all I know.
Is there one big mistake that you can think of that people should avoid that you saw that you're like, don't do that?
Just thinking that the money's always going to keep coming.
Right.
I don't know where it's going to come from. I mean, my saving grace is I tell people when to watch Workaholics.
Right. The voice of Comedy Central.
That's it. That's like I forget because that check goes somewhere and gets put into account, and so I forget. Like that can go away.
Right.
Yeah.
Once that does,
And they scramble.
But it won't because you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're gonna have your own show in Vegas soon, just like Penn Jillette.
Hey,
I forgot he was the voice.
He was the guy. Yeah.
He was Comedy Central for the longest time. Only on Comedy Central.
I think he was like one of the first guys. Right?
I think he was the first guy.
It was just that Wally Collins hosting stand up.
Stand up.
All it
And then
was.
short attention span theater.
Short attention span theater, and they were showing Who's Line reruns and
Kids in the Hall reruns.
Kids in the Hall reruns, and then Mystery Science Theater.
Yeah, then they got Mr. Science Theater.
When did Comedy Central start?
It was the Comedy Channel. There was Comedy Channel and Ha. There was Ha Network and Comedy Channel, and I don't know what the ownership was, but it was like I think one maybe was Viacom and one was HBO or something or other, and then they merged to form Comedy Central, and this was probably late '80s, early '90s.
And that's why there's the two, like the whole thing about Comedy Central. There's the New York and the LA offices, and that's kind of how that happened,
Not so much anymore. But for the longest time,
yeah.
I guess that's probably what it was. But yeah, so they were, and I think that probably goes back to I first remember watching Comedy Central in like '92, maybe. So I don't think the Comedy Channel or Ha lived for very long as solo channels, and I think they just realized like. Yeah, it's probably really just for one thing.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing for me is like having that, like it was just stand-up clips.
Yeah.
This one's about food, and it just being
that was short attention span theater. Where they would like theme the shows.
You know what that was? That was the precursor to the playlist that you might have in your like an iTunes playlist.
Oh yeah.
It was basically a keyword playlist. Now here's 9 comics talking about beards.
That's the one I had.
Your beard, by the way,
shampoo your beard,
is
Kyle?
Fucking gorgeous.
I trimmed it yesterday.
It's like a topiary. Like it
grows straight. That's what I'm jealous of.
It's bonsai like, kid.
No, I'm really
a little snip here and there. Set back from it. Don't go all at it at once. Little snip. Go back.
Snip snipperoo.
Couple days later, come back in with a little bit.
Yeah, it's a constant.
It is a constant. It's one of the few things that I can. It's relaxing.
Yeah, I can't grow with that. But like it grows out and patchy, and that's why I always end up just kind of keeping the stubble.
Your face is your own Zen garden.
It is. I also don't have a chin, so the beard helps there. This is where my face stops. Look at that stupid.
This is where my face stops.
I didn't make friends with Kyle until he had a beard.
No,
This Kyle's just more interesting.
That beard changed. It changed. That beard. This one, not so much, but that one.
It's not the same one anymore. I'm sure it's grown out.
07 was a good depression beard. It was after Aspie. Like that was part of the whole. Like it's all over. So big stupid beard.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. I don't want to say I got in early on the beard game, but we're looking like
there were no beards before 2007.
Zach Galifianakis.
When he was depressed, he grew his beard. It was after Late World with Zach was canceled,
right.
And then that's when he just like grew the huge beard out.
Yeah, it was like I read that story. I was like, oh, this is very similar.
Whatever happened to that guy?
Started drinking and grew a beard. Yeah.
Whatever happened to him?
I don't know.
I grew this when Attack of the Show got canceled.
No, that's right.
You just grow your
the podcast
beard.
was my beard. I started the podcast when something else failed.
It's like wearing pajamas.
Yeah,
it's
Chris,
like
you're totally straight.
I clearly don't care. So.
Yeah.
I have a question for you, Kyle, and I apologize for this question, but it's just because I wonder about these kinds of things.
Deep. Let's get into some stuff.
Do you feel like your special is called Whiskey Icarus? Whiskey Icarus.
That's a tongue twister.
Whiskey Icarus. Do you feel like the drinking was a really huge, and I'm sorry to just take it here out of nowhere. Do you feel like that was a really huge part of your comedy? Do you feel like you can or can't perform without it? I know you quit for a while, and I'm not judging, and I'm not
quit.
asking.
No, I
but
didn't quit.
I thought you scaled back or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Someone did.
scaled forward.
Not to make it about that, but do you?
No,
but
let's talk about it. I'm because you're sober.
I am, and I don't think everyone. I don't think everyone should be. I
Thank
just think
God.
I should be.
You
But
don't
I'm just
think everyone
curious to get.
should
I'm
be?
curious to get your take on it because like there are two paths in my life where it's like one path is I continue doing this and one path is I don't, and so I'm always interested to find out from people how they do manage it because some people can.
Well, I think I'm writing for comedy. I'm trying to come up with different perspectives because it can't all just be like, I got drunk and then I ate dumb shit, which is what most
That's
of my
for
act-
Twitter. You hold that for Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter. Oh no, Twitter. That's all Twitter is.
Yeah,
there
yeah,
for. That is
exactly.
the only reason I use.
Can't wait
Twitter.
with this pizza.
I do enjoy his Twitter.
That's the only reason.
You got to bring back Why I'm Dead, or what was it?
Oh, I'm dead. It's all my fault.
Yeah,
yeah.
I love
that was
that
a
one.
fun one. But the drinking thing, I drink a lot. I don't think. I mean, I'm probably drink every night, but I don't drink by myself. And sometimes it is just like maybe it's 4 beers. That's more than most people.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think it's a lot,
Right.
which is maybe a problem.
Well, also you drink shit beers, don't you?
Yeah. I'm not like I'm not
drinking-
like I just have 6 scotches a night. It doesn't affect me. Yeah, it's like I
Yeah.
just drink Budweiser, and socially I like to get a little buzz going, but I don't get teetotal all the time. I can't perform drunk. I won't. I'll have a beer on stage with me. It's more aesthetic, and that's what I like to sip while I'm up there.
Yeah.
But I won't go on stage drunk. I mean, in town's different, 5-minute, 10-minute spots like we're talking about. But I feel if somebody paid to go to a club, I should be in a condition to deliver. I just know I can't deliver. I'm not funnier when I'm drunk. People were laughing at me when I was drunk, but that didn't mean the jokes were good.
Right.
So now I realize that, maybe 2 beers. If I have 2 beers by the late show, that's it.
Well, I used to have to get, there were some shows in the early days where I would get so nervous. Like if I was ever performing at Largo, when Largo was at when the Monday Night Largo show was at its peak, in the early 2000s, when there were just, there were lines to get in, the place was jam packed, and you were performing alongside, Cross and Patton and people like that who were just so fucking amazing to watch. And I would get so nervous. I would pound like 4 beers before I got on stage.
Yeah.
And I could perform that way, but it got to a certain point where it did not work anymore. And I would just kind of stand on stage with a blank head and be like, I don't think this is good.
Slurring words, I hate it. When
Yeah.
there's a gift, slurring words or forgetting how a joke goes. Or just yeah. Ugh.
And it also, I think sometimes you have to think about, who do I want my audience to be? And if I'm totally drunk on stage, is that the audience that I necessarily want to have to be that guy for? Because that's going to attract that, and then everyone's going to be like, "Let's get fucked up."
That's okay. That's one of those things. I mean, I know there's some comics that have disdain for the crowd that they bring.
Like, you sowed these seeds, friend.
Yeah, and I just get guys that look like me. Do you get that? Like, I get it, man.
Yeah.
I get what you're talking about.
Yeah, every once in a while, like I'll get a tweet from a guy like, "I just ordered my Jonah Radio shirt." And I'll look at it, it's just I'm like, "Is that me? Am I?"
Yes.
Oh
Am
my
I-
God!
am I
that's
tweeting
the
myself from the
funniest
fucking Midwest again?
The podcast Mosier and I do. We release T-shirts. 4 Eyes and Beard is the name of the fucking podcast because he had a beard. I didn't have a beard at the time. But
Break it down.
every single person that took a picture looks like me with a beard.
What?
That's
Every
hilarious.
single
What
picture.
yeah, I mean, this like the beard was a thing when I was doing comedy. People would like look at me right away, going on stage. It was something to look at, and now every time I go, like local guys all look like me, and not saying that I influence. It's a real dick thing to say. Like everybody's just ripping off my style, man. But like no, but like the Louis C.K. not liking yourself was, I mean, there was always a theme in comedy. But then also to look schlubby with a beard and do I'm a piece of shit comedy. is popular and people are doing it great, but now is like headlining after three guys that just do a great job doing that. Like, I got to start talking about something else
because they're still
I've been
broke.
trying to write, they're still drinking and they got the new. They can write about anything because they're newer. I'm like, I'm just trying to write things positively. Like, look at a subject and instead of knee jerk trying to make fun of it, write about something you like, or try and pick the up like, oh, why do I hate this? What's wrong with me? Why do I dislike
That's
this?
a real Chicago style right now, I've noticed. So like a lot of you guys, like you and TJ and Pete and Kumail, it's this like incredulous like wonder of just like, it's like, can you believe this? This is amazing.
And I can't, well, and just to look through the lens of comedy always when you're walking around like, this material, for that to be negative all the time, like, this sucks, look at this is stupid, like, that's a miserable existence. Even if the act is good because of it, I don't want to live that way.
Do you feel that? Here's an interesting comedy nerd question for you. You know, as you're getting more popular as what people perceive to be your comedy, do you feel more beholden to? Do you feel more of an obligation to write that, or like as your career gets better, your personal life's going to change, your environment's going to change, some things will get better. You might get happier in some ways that you weren't before. So do you feel more of an obligation to represent who you really are as Kyle, or to keep up that staged Kyle that people got popular?
Yeah, no, I've got to like be who I am at the moment. I can't be like, man, my day job sucks. Like, I don't have a day. For a half hour, I go in and tell people when to watch Workaholics. That's my day job. Right now. Like, I can't. Yeah, that's just I'm not gonna Larry the Cable Guy. My friend Brian Cook calls me hipster Larry the Cable Guy, and it hurts because it's perfect. Like, yeah, eat 2 Big Macs at midnight, buddy. Nice to have.
You're Kyle the artisanal butcher.
This is a good.
I already see a T-shirt. I want it. I want the T-shirt.
Kyle the artisanal butcher.
Yeah. Why are you wearing an apron? It's the
thing. Don't worry about it.
Expect.
Just all these flannels I buy have no sleeves. That's Larry the Cable Guy talking.
Craft beer.
So I took those shirts and I sewed sleeves onto them.
And then rolled the sleeves up.
rolled the sleeves up.
The blue collar ethic.
I'll just take a beef chuck. There's 15 different kinds.
It's plaid collars. Plaid collar comedy tour.
You know,
Pacific Northwest.
These calves we only let listen to Mumford and Sons, and the meat is.
I thought we said hipster.
Tender.
So, are you touring a lot now, or are you?
That's it, man. Just the road. Yeah.
Where have you been that you like?
That's what's great about comedy. I go to cities that I would never want to, like, have no interest in going to as a trip, but then you go there because of comedy and you find out, oh, this place is great.
Have you been to the Tacoma Comedy Club yet?
I just did that one in December.
It's fucking fun.
It was great.
I've been preaching about that place because whenever I find a club that it's run well that I really like, I want to tell everyone they should go perform there.
Well, they had 3 clubs in that city, which is not. They won't let that glass thing go there. They really forced the idea that they're a glass city. They got the glass museum. Every hotel's got a glass sculpture. It's like, give it a fucking rest. I get it. Like, they're so desperate.
Every city has glass.
Yeah, I know. Well, they're like, it's like the kid that came back one summer and like now he's goth. Like, I'm goth. Did I tell you I'm goth? Look how goth I am. Like, that's how the whole city is about their glass.
My bedroom's black.
sculptures. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't look at it. It is.
Don't look at it. It totally is. I'm not
Totally
sure.
is, it is. Yeah.
But I've done, like, I just did Laughing Skull.
Yeah, Atlanta.
Was it last weekend? That place fun.
Yep.
Dallas Improv, surprisingly
Addison.
fun. Addison, Texas. Yeah.
Addison's a good room.
I normally don't do the improvs too much, just because.
You don't like chicken fingers?
Well, when they're in when it's just part of the preconceived date night area of town, you could tell whatever parent company owns the bar and the club. And
Addison, Texas is really interesting because there's no residential zone in Addison. It's all commercial. So,
really? Is that the case?
It's all businesses. And like the hotel that you stay at when you perform at the Addison Improv. Yeah. But other than that, it's all restaurants and malls and movie theaters.
It is. It's pretty suburban. It is like every chain kind of.
The first time I performed there, someone was like, "Welcome to Addison, home of the $100,000 millionaire." Like everyone everyone doesn't make a lot of money, but everyone drives Mercedes. You know, it's like one of those
Well, then
cultures.
you get, and the bar across the street is like, or across the hallway is like a dueling piano.
The dueling
bar,
piano
which
bar.
I don't know why is that.
Well, I mean,
They should be.
you can't
Piano
duel-
cage match.
I
You
want
can't
two
duel with
pianists
one
enter.
piano.
I want to see much more violence if it's dueling.
Yeah.
Well, I need to
want
know-
like if like one's better than the other, they can press like a certain chord, and then the other guy's fucking piano explodes.
And it's
I just want to know who's going to play New York State of Mind better. And
I
they
just
tell
can't
us.
wait till I see that one white girl that thinks it's hilarious to dance to Baby Got Back. Because I'm still looking out there, guy, and I'm not seeing a girl clever enough
Kyle,
to
you
realize.
got it, man. You got it.
I'm not seeing a girl clever enough to know that that's going to be really funny.
I think they should add a scanners element to the dueling piano scenario. Where it's like the harder they play, and then someone else's, the other guy's nose starts to bleed, and then their fucking their frontal lobe just unfolds onto the front of the piano as they explode.
You got to give up.
I got this. Dueling piano.
The stupider he gets, he's just,
Just play
fucking-
Crocodile Rock.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
play Crocodile Rock.
Yeah.
How do you write? Do you sit down and write, or do you just go up on stage and just sort of
Just
rip it
go-
out?
Go up there and figure it out. That's more conversational. Why? What do? You sit down, you write it?
I just started doing it that way
Yeah. When I
with
write
the
my
with the
worst
new
jokes.
hour.
That's right. When I write my worst stuff.
And it's been, but I love it because I don't feel so trapped. You know, I think the 10-minute set comedy writing mentality is, well, I have 10, 15 minutes. I have to get as many jokes in here as possible. And so you start thinking about comedy in terms of the turn and the jokes.
Yeah.
And not as much about, well, who am I and what do I want to say? And when you have more time, don't you think it feels like, oh, I can talk, and then the comedy sort of comes out of this me as a person, as opposed to, how am I going to say the word pussy at the end of this and make it the turn?
Well, I see like, I don't know if it's like the Louis C.K. influence, but comedy's, more popular than ever, and you see guys going up there like, I'm just going to bullshit and, talk about my life. Like, no. You write jokes. You're new. You write jokes. Yeah.
Louis can bullshit,
I don't
and it
care
sounds
about
like
your
material.
life. You're 22.
Yeah.
You're depressed at 22. Cheer up.
Well, and I think I think if you watch Louis' older stuff, and I think Louis' material pre 2003 is much. I mean, like it's all really obviously well written, but it's much more
Conceptual.
Yeah.
Were
joke
the
based,
animals
like,
racist?
right, or
Yeah.
like the guy in hell who's like, oh, suck my cock. Did you just blow that guy? You know, you didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
Like they're more like he's really writing more bits and concepts as
Yeah.
opposed
Yeah.
to now.
Yeah, because then you start, and then you have that skill set. So when you are just riffing, and you're like, "Oh, this would fit exactly. This is how
Yeah.
a joke would fit in here."
It's basically-
this is where
I think it's like people trying to become a master, like people being like, I could sculpt David. Do you know how to draw? Nah, I'll just figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, you really should
And
learn.
seeing Louis C.K., I mean, it looks so easy to be up there and nonchalantly. I mean, I aped Hedberg when I started, which is probably the best because those were jokes, like figuring out jokes to do. I mean, granted, it was his personality that sold a lot of them. But so I was doing like one-liner stuff like Hedberg.
Yeah. When I started, I tried to do one-liner stuff too.
Yeah.
And I was
And
like, it's not me.
Yeah, the defense mechanism of staring at the ground and just
Yep.
going, here's a joke. Not good? Okay, next joke. This one worked. Put a star.
I'm not going to engage to the audience, so no matter how I do, I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm a writer, guys. That was me. I was such
Yeah.
a prick. I'm a writer. I really shouldn't be here. I'm a writer.
Yeah.
What'd you write? These jokes to tell to you.
So you're a
That's about
comedian.
Yeah.
I'm a writer comedian.
Yeah, but
being
it's
a
really on the
comedian-
page. It's on the page is where the
Being a
humor
comedian is just a way to get them out.
It just seems so needy being
Yeah.
a comedian. I'm a writer.
What do you think the goal of a comedian is? Do you think the goal of a comedian is? Do you think the goal of a comedian is really just should be funny, or do you think the goal of a comedian is to, well, I want to be as much of myself on stage as I can be, and then that's funny? What do you? What do
Or
you
is there
think?
social responsibility to it? Like somebody brought that up too. Like people listen to you. I think I went off on Twitter. I'm like, oh yeah, because let's listen to comedians to like boil major issues down, oversimplify things, and use that as a soundbite to determine how you should feel politically or socially. It's like, no, they're comedians. That's what they do. You shouldn't base, your worldview on that. But then somebody's like, well, no, you have a social responsibility as a comedian. Like you're the mouthpiece of stuff. Like I don't believe in that. I don't think.
You're a mouthpiece.
Do you? How does your throat hold up on the road? I lose my voice a lot.
I don't I don't really scream in the act. I mean, I'm not. It's if I'm getting wasted afterwards, it gets bad. But I'm not. Again, I'm drinking, but
Yelling over dueling pianos.
Yeah, screaming and trying to meet ladies over dueling pianos. I really like the way you danced to "Baby Got Back." No, my voice is all right. Pete was one. Holmes gave me like. He gets boxes of this weird, I don't know, some kind of gypsy grease that he swallows.
I remember
his packets of gypsy grease that he swallows because he screams.
when TJ was doing mashup, like he would go off stage, like in between, like bringing all the comics down, doing all his bits, which is a lot of screaming. But like he would like go back and he was like, there's kind of like weird little steamy oxygen thing that he would breathe into to like coat his throat. So he wouldn't.
Was?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
Or just freebasing. I'm not sure. I can't tell the difference.
Again, maybe there's one of those things where it's like the mistakes that I'm making that I'm not realizing. Like, you know what? Take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Eventually, you age and you get hurt. If things go
You'll
south.
find that out soon with the pizzas.
I know. I have tried. I've tried to be better about my.
And you're a small guy.
Yeah, I'm a little guy.
Yeah, you're a little guy.
But
I get upset about that where it's like I see me like if I can drink beers and eating pizza. I'm
I
like,
do like I don't tweet about the balancing act that I do of like, oh yeah, I exercised and I rode bikes and I eat usually pretty well.
That'd be a lot less.
But I would just have, I would just like, even outside the weight gain, I would just have like heartburn. I'd be like just upset all the time.
That's my problem. I'm not very affected by stuff like.
You know what you should do? I think you could find great success with going out and talking literally about that stuff honestly.
Yeah.
Because then people would be like, come on.
Yeah. I put a whole cucumber in there and it's
It fills
the
up.
biggest
It's a lot
thing
of
about
color.
those juicers is cleaning them.
That's why I don't get one. That's why I spend the money to get one from a store.
oh, you're cleaning carrot pulp out of everything.
You get one of those centrifuge ones. They're pretty easy to clean.
I got Chloe a Vitamix for Christmas because she loves
Vitamix.
She loves
It's good for
the
smoothies,
you
not for
both will
juicing.
not shut up about the Vitamix.
Yeah, it's like a power
the
blender.
Vitamix
My
also
sister
has
got
a
one of
heating element that you can make soup in it, and it just heats it up.
Yeah,
This
you
episode
turn
of the
it all
Nerdist
the way.
Podcast brought to you by Stamps.com.
No, Vitamix is not giving us anything. I've given them money.
I had to buy it, and like I was like, oh, I'll just take this. I was getting it for D for Christmas, and I was like, oh, I'll just take that one. And then he's like, all right, cool. And then like I saw how much it was, and like I had this like, oh wait, this like moment where I'm like, how much do I love her?
My sister works for Steve Harvey for the Steve Harvey show, so she gets all this free stuff. She got a Vitamix. She got,
Like free,
got hooked up.
like free Dick Tracy suits.
Like
Damn.
He did own his own clothing store, correct?
Yeah, but every
Everything
time
had 9 buttons, no less.
whenever I saw Steve Harvey's clothes, it's just like these very angular lines and bright colors of like they look like Dick Tracy villain
It's
suits.
like an 80s drawing, like fashion drawing.
Yes!
Yeah, exactly.
I'm in fashion. These are my drawings.
Yeah.
And that's
Wide shoulders that go into a peak. Yeah.
triangles to the waist.
Yeah,
It's a
that's the MC Hammer.
contemporary zoot suits.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's toned it down a little bit. Yeah. I always wonder, there's no binge eating like health food shows. Like, I'd like to see somebody eat so much salad.
I
Who
tried
could eat
that.
salad? Who
whores.
could eat salad till they just shit their pants? 'Cause
Yeah.
that's all that would happen.
That was all. Yeah, exactly. But you'd feel like the guy still. He was like, you had so many times that. Yeah, I'm just gonna go for a walk. Just like he can still just kind of do whatever he wants. Yeah, I don't feel all right.
Feel good.
That's my pitch. I
feel real good.
Health food challenges.
Where are
You
you?
can't eat
I
unhealthy.
want
healthy.
to do a pitch where it's follow me while I stress eat, and then we'll just see. Like last night when I was like, I'm gonna go get a Diet Coke and 5 donuts. I was like in
5
the store.
donuts?
They had just brought out the blueberry donuts.
All right.
Okay, that's
We're all on
one.
board, right? Then the red velvet donut came out.
Two.
keep
Wait,
it-
where
did
the
you-
fuck is this red velvet donut?
Oh, it's at SK's.
Did you keep it at 5 because at least like, well, I didn't eat.
Yeah, I didn't hit half.
I didn't eat a half a dozen.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it wasn't that bad.
They call that a Myro's dozen.
Semantics, guys.
And then I fell asleep watching the Sam Mendes commentary on Skyfall's Blu-ray. and I was
I
like,
used to.
what a life!
Christ.
What life
How many
is
times have you
this?
seen that movie now?
7.
God damn.
I remember like in my like early mid 20s, I would fucking every night I would get wasted. I would like start the night off with a fucking 40 ounce of like Bud Light. I would end the night with a fucking huge ass fucking burrito from Cactus Taqueria on Vine, and then I would just fall asleep on my couch watching like Shaun of the Dead or Stand by Me. It was like, and that was almost every night. Every night. now like I fucking watch what I eat, and I fucking gain more weight than I ever have before.
Because you're
Well,
worried about it. I think.
I sad to say, but getting a DUI, of the other reasons, it was bound to happen, and it's better for me that I don't drink and drive. No Del Taco.
Yeah,
runs
no
after
Del
a
Taco.
bar.
What was the? I don't know if I knew about the DUI. What were the circumstances? How did it turn out?
That's what I called. That's why the album's called Whiskey Icarus, because that's what I called finally getting a DUI.
You drank too close to the sun.
Finally, Whiskey Icarus finally flew a little too close to the sun.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, it's sad. Like, I'm not saying it from a point of pride that it was bound to happen. Just, I mean, you go out and drink 4 or 5 beers. I can handle myself on 4 or 5 beers.
Yeah.
But I got pulled over on Franklin. I was doing 5 miles an hour over the limit, and I was
just enough.
following a car too closely. No, I know what it was, and I don't know if I talk about it on the special. I was singing.
Really?
I was driving my truck and I was singing Tesla. Because I'm not gonna not listen to Tesla and sing along. To it.
Yeah.
Maybe that was what the ticket was really about.
Yeah.
Well, let's get him. There's no law against Tesla, but just
It
take
was
the
Tesla's first drummer that pulled him over.
Oh, what is this later year stuff, huh?
No thanks.
Got no mechanical resonance. In
You know, I left because I wanted to.
I had other pursuits. Lady was pressuring me.
So it was just a light buzz and 5 miles over the speed limit. Those are all very minor things.
Yeah.
You've been drunk way more than that and driven.
Yes.
Yeah.
Never again.
I talked myself out of a DUI once.
Did you?
Yeah, I lied up a storm, and luckily I
to
still.
yourself, where you said, "Don't get in the car, John. Don't get in the car."
No,
John.
I wish it would have been safer for everyone involved. I was in South Pasadena trying to find someone's house like late at night, and I took a turn, and I was like in the wrong lane to turn down the street. It was one of those like multiple 5 light things, and it was fine. No one was around, but like they saw it and they pulled me over, and luckily I still had my old Hawaii license. And like I just started going, I'm visiting my brother. He lives in San Diego. I drove up here in the morning because I was like, this crazy elaborate lie came out where I was like, it's his girlfriend. It's not his girlfriend. Like, I mean, they kind of off and on, but like it's like she works on this studio and she said I could hang out for a day, and I've been on set all day.
Oh, you're annoying. Just go.
Yeah. And like they're like, well, can you call someone to pick you up? I'm like, I think I remember a number.
Did you cry?
What?
Or did you cry?
I got close, but I was a man about it, and they respected it.
You know,
Yeah.
men don't cry. They just let their voice crack while they try to hold back the emotion.
And I just don't know what I'm doing. I got my flight tomorrow back home, and
It goes up into Bobcat register.
I just work in a pie factory.
In a poi factory. That was racist.
What?
All right, so
Just bring it back.
That's fine.
They make poi there.
They do. It's not good.
No.
It's not a good thing to eat.
What is it?
It's taro root smashed down, so it just kind of becomes this like stringy pudding kind of thing, and it just doesn't taste good. And then people say put sugar in it, and it just
Doesn't sound
doesn't.
good.
It's not good, but it's like the Hawaiian meal.
It sounds like the stuff you make paper mache with, where you you dip paper in it and then just decoupage
Yeah, it
something.
does have that consistency.
Yeah.
And this is what I do every time now.
Where are you performing next, Kyle?
Doing a Glasgow Comedy Festival.
Oh, Glasgow.
That's coming up. Yeah, that's in March. That's coming up soon.
Pretty ballsy.
You been over there?
I've been through Glasgow, but I've never performed there. I don't think I would do well in Glasgow.
I don't do well overseas.
I just feel like
ever.
someone would break a bottle over my face in Glasgow.
Likely to happen to me. I'll take one in your place, in your honor.
I appreciate that. What's next? Have you done Edinburgh?
No, I don't want to go there for a month.
It's a long time.
That sounds kind of miserable.
Didn't Kumail do it?
Yeah, but he only did it for half the time.
Yeah, he did.
But like, I think it was Kurt Braunohler was talking about like you get this Edinburgh depression where just like your body can't drink anymore, but that's what everyone does every night.
I've heard that.
I was talking to Pepitone about it, and when we were at Sketchfest, and he was talking about how like now he's getting booked like all over Europe, like.
Really?
Like he's going to like he was in Norway, and then and then we were all just like, yeah, because you're what they think an American guy is,
Because he has that New York voice.
Yeah, he's got the fucking. He yells like
Yeah.
he thinks we all. Like
But
they
he
all
also
think we
like
do.
just disses like America. Like a lot of it's like
and he
like
also shits on
we
us.
are the worst. You know.
He's great. He's fucking great.
It'd be like
That
getting
movie's
an
good.
it'd be like having an Australian comic kill over here, and back in Australia they're like, oh yeah, we don't like that guy.
Yeah.
That's what I was like seeing the same. I was in Australia.
Oh wait, that came out wrong. I'm sorry. I love Eddie Pepitone.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
great.
Okay.
But like seeing the same version of hack comedy with an accent and then seeing it kill. because,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like
Yes!
the guy like, anybody from this place? All right, clap. All right, anybody from here? Clap. All right, from this place? Fuck your sheep. Okay. And people like, this room's going, oh God, this is the best thing we've seen. He was the MC and I went up and just ate it.
I had that I had that experience where I was doing a show and it was the crowd was not loving anyone, and then Australian guy with a crazy hat comes out.
Yeah.
And it's just like they just fucking carried him out of the room. Like, oh, you just
And like what was working down there? I mean, I did a show with Kumail, and Kumail killed, rightfully so, and I was like, it was okay at the show we were on, but this other one, oh, that was Ireland where the sheep fucking thing happened. That was the joke there, but seeing like what's appreciated in these places where it's just somebody just like if you know like Americans that go there and kill, and it's the most basic like men and women stuff.
yeah.
And it kills over there, like because it's just like I don't know why it kills over there.
Yeah, I think you get some extra points for having a different accent. If you have a different accent, there's a package thing that's involved that's part of your presentation that immediately people are a little charmed by because your accent's different.
But I don't think being an American helps elsewhere. But over here, I think it does.
Being an American here works pretty good.
being American is the best
Yeah,
thing.
it's probably one of the best things in the world.
It's the
yeah.
greatest thing any human could achieve.
Yeah. I'm really proud of myself for being American.
Yeah, I just
was
don't-
close.
70 years earlier.
Ooh, yeah,
No way. Not even that.
50
1960.
something. Yeah.
55, 60.
Technically, my thing still
65
stands.
is when it became a state.
From
There's
now-
I remember there's an I Love Lucy episode where they're talking about it.
Yeah.
Hawaii becoming a state.
And what were you eating when you watched that?
All the chocolates, just like Lucy.
Right. It's
Just like
1955.
Lucy.
Except there was no conveyor belt.
It was my tongue.
Depression was the conveyor belt.
It was me pulling the tablecloth closer and closer instead of getting up to get food.
Remember that episode where she put too much yeast in the bread and then the loaf became the size of the kitchen? That's my dream. That's my
Eat
dream.
your way through that.
That's how you kill yourself. You're just sitting there. He hot pocketed himself.
He died as he lived, preparing the
God.
hot pocket.
My
Sticky
emotional,
bunned himself.
my emotional problems with food are hilarious.
Makes you feel good when you eat it, though. I
Oh
get
God,
The wheezy laugh is really what made that line fucking sale.
that might have been the cigarettes.
You can't just eat Myra dozens of things all the time. Sometimes you gotta grout it with cigarettes.
Yeah,
That's
they're
right, kids.
delicious. Follow the
Now I want to drink and eat.
Nerdist podcast. I know. Let's just do it.
Now I want to drink and eat.
I'll watch you guys.
You can eat.
You guys want to go to happy hour at the counter?
You don't eat? Yeah, you don't. Do you eat? Do you eat shitty stuff? Do you break?
I do eat shitty stuff. I eat shitty stuff all the time. I just don't eat a lot of it. Like if I have a,
This guy.
but it's not.
Where
It's
you can
not.
stop yourself.
You're relating to no one.
I know. It's but
Next
believe
bite
me,
always tastes better than the one
with
you
the
chew.
with the alcohol gene that I have, it is amazing. That
Does that bug you yet? Do you talk about
no,
that at
no,
all?
it doesn't bother me at all. I don't mind the not drinking. I love that I don't drink. It makes me. I like it. I never regret it.
You feel like you have a leg up on society?
No,
Because you're
I
like,
just-
everyone else is a little buzzed right now. I'm at the
How
height.
was hanging out like after you quit? How was going out and then like?
It was tough for a year or so because, well, especially when you first quit, you build so many reasons around drinking where it's like, when a good thing happens, I'll go celebrate. When a bad thing happens, I'll go drown my sorrows. After a show, we're all hanging out, and so it was, and I, like even every day at 6 o'clock, I'm going to watch a Simpsons rerun and have a beer, like it was trying to do all those same things, but without that anchor involved and still try to.
And it feels boring at first until you separate it from your head.
But I'll tell you what,
I found.
when we were flying back from Las
That
Vegas.
guy's just wearing a
Hell,
helmet eating
he
an
just
apple.
doesn't care.
We were flying back from Las Vegas on Southwest, and we were in a
Gross.
row, and the guy who sat in the aisle, I had the worst visceral reaction because he
Just sweating out.
he had been drinking all night, clearly, and I knew with the situation, it was an early morning flight, he probably either didn't go to bed or slept for an hour, and he just like the smell of it, that just ferment, that fucking sweat ferment smell.
Yeah.
And then every time he would turn to look out the window, he would breathe in our direction, and it was just like. And Chloe could even smell it from her, and it turned my fucking stomach. And it was those moments where I go, I'm so glad I don't, because I knew he did not. There was no way that guy felt.
Chloe
it.
could even smell it from 1 inch next to you.
When you can smell someone's.
It's a joke about Southwest.
Yeah, but when you can smell someone's breath across 2 seats, that's pretty bad.
That actually happened where I fell asleep on a flight. It was a Christmas day in the evening of Christmas that I was flying back from Chicago, and I was like, I guess I'll get a beer. It's Christmas, and then it turned into like everybody just buying rounds at this bar. And one of the better jokes I think I've made. I was drinking. It was a roadie for Meatloaf. You could tell still on speed or out of speed, but like his knees bounced while he ate a burrito, like double bass drums with his legs. But he was talking about touring with Meatloaf, and he's like, it's like South America, they love loaf, man. They love him. Loaf. South America loves him. Europe kills. America, nothing. I'm like, well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Come on!
Did he see it coming?
He was not impressed. He
Really?
didn't like it.
Well, I guess he must have heard all the loaf jokes.
I know, all the loaf. But that, anyway, wasted, fell asleep on my flight, woke up to a girl just going, here's a piece of gum.
Oh,
He just said that to me.
no!
We're landing. Here's some gum. Because I just been.
You want to go out?
Open mouth snoring.
I feel so awful for you in the past.
It was like last year.
I feel awful for you not that long ago.
Oh fuck! I kind of feel bad for that girl.
I am, and then she was in the middle, and the guy in the end was somebody we were drinking with too. So we were all like, "Oh, we're on the same flight. What's up, guys?" And I constantly fall asleep, and I know I snore. And I've got to the point now. I'm like, just elbow me if I start snoring. So I say that to somebody next to me.
You should get one of those
Breathe
crazy
right
machines, not a breathe right strip, like
CPAP
the machine,
machine?
the CPAP machine, like the oxygen machine that,
That was
just
the other
Just
fucking
better than the other
hilarious.
option,
That was
guys.
the other hilarious thing. The car back from Sketchfest to the airport was me, Pepitone, Ian Roberts, and Besser. And it was just everybody but Besser discussing their CPAP machines.
Oh
we
my
all
God.
fucking snored. That's sleep apnea.
Well, I still don't know what it is. It's just snoring, right?
Yeah,
you can
it's
die.
But the
it's just
CPAP
airway,
keeps your airway open and the air flowing so that you don't,
Yeah.
so that your throat doesn't close.
and you sleep better because you have more oxygen going through your body.
I have another friend. I have a friend who was using.
I don't use one anymore, but
Oh, you don't? Well,
I used to.
another friend of mine was using one, and I was like, "Do you notice any different in your day?" And he goes, "Yeah, the level of dumb things that I get pissed off about went way down.
Oh, weird.
Like he got way more patient when he was actually sleeping all the way through the night."
Oh, the
Getting
difference
proper
was
sleep.
dramatic because what happens is you stop breathing, you wake up, you don't realize you wake up, or your blood oxygen level would dip real low. Like mine, when I did the sleep study, they hook you up to machines, and mine got down to like 80% of blood oxygen level, which is no good. It was just like,
So you wake up more tired than if
yeah,
you...
because they're like, you were actually sleeping in this 8-hour night, you were actually sleeping for an hour and a half.
and then
Oh,
and
wow,
dead for
weird.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like I would get an hour and a half of sleep a night for my life.
Somebody explain. Like I always wake up after 5 hours, and somebody says that's because drinking. Like everything processes after 5 hours,
Yeah.
and so I only sleep 5 hours a night.
Yeah, I don't. When I drink and go to sleep, I don't do that thing where I wake up and I'm like, oh, I was drinking, so I woke up early. Like I just sleep through it. It's nice.
Lucky.
Yeah, it's really good.
I always got worried. Like, I mean, that's like not a shit joke, but like getting beer shits and everything. And then when my body stopped that with like hangovers, like my body was just like, you know what you're doing. We're not going to give you any more warnings. Like I got worried about that. Like
Yeah.
I should have, you know.
The hangovers do start happening more and at a shittier pace.
Now I just
Level.
wake up in the middle of the night because of anxiety, not because of drinking.
Tell me about it.
Panic attacks. Those are fun.
It's 3 a.m. Maybe I have cancer. I don't know.
I thought I was having a heart attack. I told them like they might have to call. If I said call an ambulance from the stage, call an ambulance. It was at San Jose.
Trying to pull a Todd Glass.
Yeah. There was like already a terrible show at that San Jose Improv. It was a beautiful theater.
Yeah, it's a
filled
great
with
theater.
morons.
Horrible town.
Yeah. And like I was just having chest pains before I went up there. And I think this guy had too much caffeine, then stressed out. But I was like, I'm gonna go up here. But if I say call an ambulance when I get off stage.
Fucking call an ambulance.
Yeah, because this is like that was the first time it happened. I'm like, oh yeah, panic,
Yep.
stress.
Which unfortunately masks itself as a million different things.
Yeah.
When you start looking up, if there's nothing medically wrong with you and you're having weird symptoms, write panic attack and then put that symptom, and you'll see 500,000 web pages come up that
could be
that say
anything.
that thing.
Yeah, well, I told the doctor, I'm like, yeah, I'm getting like, I'll get these sharp pains. He's like, you get it at rest or while you're exercising? I'm like, at rest. Like, I'm thinking, it's so bad, it's even at rest that everybody's like, oh, you're fine. I was like, I don't think you're right.
Wouldn't it make less sense for you to be fine when you're resting and getting it?
yeah.
No, it's-
something should be going wrong. I'm just
It's
sitting
so
there and all of a
worse
sudden,
when you-
oh, stabbing pain in my chest.
It's so worse when you slow down and your body's just processing all the stress you put on it when you
Yeah.
don't have anything else to focus your brain on. When you're
Yeah.
just like, your body's like, all right, here's the check. It's like dropping the check. Your body's dropping the check.
And there it was, the abrupt ending. I'm laughing because I'm uncomfortable and sorry. Enjoy your burrito?
Thanks, Chris. This is definitely Kyle right now. Shut up, you piece of shit.
That was Nerdist Puppet Show ending theater.
Now leaving Nerdist.com. Enjoy your burrito.
This episode of the Nerdist Podcast was brought to you by Shutterstock.com. With over 700,000 high-quality video clips, Shutterstock helps you take your creative projects to the next level. For 30% off your new account, go to Shutterstock.com and use the offer code NERDIST5. Nerdist and the number 5.